Hello, this video would demonstrate the installation of the Urban ERT Sling's 3-point tactical single point and 1-inch configuration for the P556 6-hour pistol. When the sling arrives, you will remove it from the packaging. You can read over the instruction sheet, but this video should have everything necessary to install the sling. As you can see here, it is completely assembled, ready to go on the weapon. So this will be what it looks like once it is installed on the weapon. Before you begin, make sure your weapon is completely cleared, unsafe, and empty of all magazines and ammunition. The Sig pistol is going to have a front sling loop and a rear sling attachment. If you're right-handed, the sling attachment here is going to be mounted on the left side of the weapon. If you're left-handed, you're going to want to either leave it here since you only have the front sling attachment for right hand, or you can run the sling up over and connect it to the opposite side. But since you have the charging handle here, it's recommended just to leave everything on the left side of the weapon because you can do a cross-shoulder transition. To begin, first thing you'll want to do is remove the elastic keeper, which keeps the excess webbing. Set that aside, and the elastic keeper here, which allows the sling to be stowed nice and tight up against the weapon. You're going to remove the webbing from this tri-glide here. Once you get the webbing off, you can go ahead and take the HK clip and install it to the weapon. You want to remove this tri-glide here and set it aside. You want to try to remember everything as it comes apart so you can put it back together correctly. There is a close-up video on one of our videos. It's the IMPD prosek slide release tab installation. It'll show you how to reconfigure the webbing through this if the video is not close enough. But what you're going to do is pull the webbing through, and again remembering the routing of it. You can also run a piece of string through the webbing so that it's easy for you to remember the configuration that it goes to. But you want to go ahead and disassemble the prosek slide release tab and run the webbing once it's out through the back sling attachment, and then go ahead and first run it through the actual prosek. You got the tab here. You want to run it up through the bottom of the tab and then through the first loop. Take the male buckle with the two loops here, run it through the first one, then back through the second of the tab, and then reroute it back to the second on the male buckle portion. Then you can pull the tab to the rear. Go ahead and connect the female buckle. Take this tri-glide, run it up through the bottom and through the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to position this probably about 8 inches away from the end, and then run it up through the bottom of the HK clip, and then through the bottom of the tri-glide, and through the top of the tri-glide. That's going to properly install it, and you're going to need at least 4 to 6 inches or 3 inches excess. That's what the silencer is for. Go ahead and fold this over and run the silencer back over it, or keeper, whatever you want to call it. This maintains the webbing in the same spot. Hook the HK clip back to the sling, or to the attachment. Go ahead and slide this forward by grabbing the main body. One thing to keep in mind with this particular sling, this tab here is what you grab to slide it to the rear. The main body is what you grab to slide it to the front. If you grab the main body to the rear, you're going to be defeating the purpose by creating tension on the webbing, which prevents it to slide. But if you grab this tab, as you can see, it's real easy to slide to the rear. Same thing, if you grab the tab to move it forward, you're going to create tension, so you want to grab the front body, not the tab, and slide it forward. So go ahead and slide it all the way forward. And then what you're going to do is adjust the main body of the sling. You'll see here is the tri-glide for the main body. This is what you adjust to make the sling fit your body. So once you have this correctly installed on the front, you're going to have this elastic here. You adjust this main body of the sling to fit your torso. Once you have it adjusted to fit your torso, you should be able to punch the webbing out, creating tension on this webbing here. Put your cheek up against this, and that would create somewhat of a cheek weld for more accurate shots. This will be wrapping over your shoulder, and you can actually slide this to the rear all the way, and it becomes more of a one-point sling instead of a three-point sling, which allows you to cross-shoulder transition. It also allows you to punch the weapon out a little bit further. So you can position this anywhere you want to by just stopping. It'll create tension, keep it from sliding anywhere else. Now, once you get this sling completely assembled, configured, and to fit your torso, slide it all the way to the front. And to store it, that's what this piece of elastic is here for. It's the keeper. You want to slide this to the rear so that it's nice tight right here, and you want to fold this webbing back and forth, pulling it tight, and then picking up the tab here, and then you can slide the elastic keeper up over. What this does is it maintains the webbing on the sling so that when the weapon's not in use, it keeps it in a nice tight package, so you can stow it in your vehicle, you can stow it in your safe. It keeps it nice and tight so the sling material is not dragging all over the place. To deploy it, you would simply take your hand up from the bottom in between the two pieces of webbing, not on the inside of the side assembly, but in between the side assembly and outer piece. Pull it, put the weapon on, slide it to the rear, and that's a single point.